Well, good win. I mean, very, very appreciative. I've said it over and over again to our fans that showed up. I know we kind of threw the game together, but very appreciative of it. We got 2 huge games this week in the pit. Let's get this place jumping, and see if we can put a little scare into Wyoming, Colorado State. They're obviously 2 terrific teams that are at the top of the league and where we strive to be. But let's get the pit back jumping again. Very, very appreciative of the fans that showed up. And obviously to get a win is great. Won 3 out of 4. I think we were sleepwalking a little bit in the first half. I honestly didn't go crazy at halftime. I just explained to them, if you're going to continue to mope around when you don't make shots and not establish some level of defense and toughness and rebounding, it just doesn't matter who we're going to play. We're not going to win at the level that we want to win at. So guys responded well. It was good to get some of these other guys some playing time who haven't played a lot. Barima, very good to see him out there, and Sebastian rebounded the ball well, and walk-ons played, so it was good.
You talked this week about you're not going to add a whole lot of wrinkles. You're not going to tinker too much. So in the end, was tonight a success from the basketball perspective and all that? Was tonight a success? You got the win, I know, but you did sleepwalk through that first half.
Yeah. Well, I honestly don't. I try not to freak out. It's a 40-minute game. It's not 2 games. We were sleepwalking because we weren't making shots, and I think some of that has to do with you score 91 and you're making everything versus Air Force. So, at the end of the day, it's a 32-point victory. Yes, I think we got something out of it. I didn't want to, you get some game sweat in, you know what I mean? I didn't want to go that long without a game. So we got a win. We only won 6 of them last year, so were we a masterpiece by any means? No, but second half was obviously a lot better.
You talked earlier in the week, Coach, about, the role that you guys have, to keep guys grounded and make sure, that you're keeping them on the right track. When you guys had all this practice time this week and then certainly through the game tonight, did you feel like that was resonating with the guys?
I hope so. I didn't think their approach was all that horrible. I think they were ready to go. I thought the practices were good. I think they just they didn't make shots, and it deflated their body language a little bit. And we still don't have this defensive identity that we need to develop if we ever want to move up in the standings. I don't care how good we are offensively at times. Unless we start bringing a certain level of grit and toughness and fight and ball pressure and all those things, we're going to sit towards the bottom of the league. So I thought their mindset was good. Their mentality was good. I thought they built that lead to 10, and they were really good in the second half.
The big burst that we saw in that second half from J.L. and Tovar, what stood out to you as far as his certainly the plays, but also you talked a lot about his body language and the importance of keeping him sharp this year.
Yeah, I told him at halftime, you have one more rebound than I do. It's at some point you have to embrace being this fit. We're down 3 bigs, and E-Man and Jethro especially had energy, and they were quick to the ball, and we're missing that. And I know, Jay, you think you're a 4. I think you're a 4. I can't make trades. I can't sign guys 10-day contracts. So you need to play with more enthusiasm and energy, and I thought he did that better in the second half for sure.
Talk about momentum and stuff, obviously coming off of wins, but how do you like the team's mentality after this win? And obviously the focus definitely has to shift. Talk about moving forward and how,
Yeah, I think winning 3 out of 4 is great. What's crazy is I was looking at our numbers today, and Ken Palm's got us 55 in strength of schedule with a young team in a rebuild. That's pretty tough. Eddie doesn't think we play anybody, and I tell him all the time, that's a pretty tough schedule. So, I think they're feeling good about themselves. They won 3 of 4, but let's go see what we can do versus teams at the top of the league. Really good teams. Wyoming's as hot as any team in the country. Colorado State's terrific as well. So, huge challenge in front of us.
Go too much into players specifically because opponent and all that stuff. But KJ started off rough tonight. He missed some shots. He had 4 fouls at one point. Then he hit a 3 right in front of the bench there. And then alley-oop, I think, the very next possession. So he kind of got it going. KJ worked through, I think, a bad start. Was that shot good to see? And, like, did you know he would work through? Were you worried at all, I guess, about KJ and kind of wasn't having it?
I just told him, like, all right, you missed some threes. What's the big deal? Like, there's way worse things in life than not making a shot, and you look like it's really bothering you. Like, yeah, a little bit early. He kind of got in his head a little bit, I thought, earlier in the season. But for the most part, like, you work very, very hard. You're a terrific shooter. I don't care if you make it or miss it. I mean, I'd prefer if you made it, but, like, I'm not ever going to bench you if you miss shots. If they're good shots, I will always play you. You can ask any player that's played for me in the past. Just keep shooting. And so you could tell he was weighing on him a little bit, but he got to get over that because he's about too much of about the right things.
You talked a lot about before how you don't like to focus on the record, especially when you're in the process of the rebuild. But being so close at Wyoming against Colorado State, with them coming here to the pit, what's this next week? What would be a success for you?
2-0 would be a success. I don't want our guys thinking we almost beat Wyoming and we almost beat Colorado State. Now we're home, and that means we're going to beat them. It's almost like New Mexico State when we beat them at their place, and then they came to us. Don't assume we're going to win that game because it's home. Just focus on your prep. Focus on tomorrow coming in. We've started Wyoming prep, over the last couple of days. We'll really, really focus on them with a little bit of Colorado State just because we only have one day to prepare for them. But just give it your best shot, and don't assume because we almost beat them that the next game has anything to do with it. It does not.
Anything else for Coach?
All right, thank you.
I'm sorry, one comment on them coming in here. I know it's short notice for you guys. You guys put it together last minute, but so did they, and they still have a tournament coming up.
Yeah, I was speaking to the coach before. I just didn't know what their deal was with their season. It was hard to kind of tell on the website, but I know they have a long break, and then they get to play their tournament. He was telling me over in Iowa, so it's probably great for them as well to be able to play a game. So any chance, and obviously it's weird in the middle of the season, but if we can always play those exhibition games with teams from New Mexico, we want to do that. We want to be able to take care of them. We have a high level of respect for all of them. So the circumstances were weird. I think they got something out of it. I know that what he was telling me, it sounds brutal to be able to practice that long and not play games. So I think they probably appreciated it. We appreciated them doing it as well.